Rodriguez Henley fighting mad, fighting the AIDS virus.
Okay, Rodriguez, one more time. Let's have you down here. Let's check inside the ears.
Rodriguez, big brown eyes, curly black hair, terrific lungs. He is one of an estimated 10 to 20,000 children who's HIV positive.
We feel for their lymph nodes in their neck and in their groin areas.
Only 3 weeks old, Rodriguez has been on AZT, the anti-AIDS drug, for weeks. When she was 6 months pregnant, his 23-year-old mother, Jackie, discovered she had contracted the deadly AIDS virus from her husband.
When I first found out, I was angry. Because of the way I contracted it. I really do believe some good can come out of it, if it ain't but helping somebody else.
Jackie and Rodriguez are enrolled in the Memphis AIDS Clinical Trial Unit at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
And this study is interested in seeing whether or not AZT during pregnancy can prevent transmission of the HIV virus from the pregnant woman to her infant.
St. Jude specializes in the research, the treatment of catastrophic childhood diseases. While most of the young patients here are battling cancer, the HIV/AIDS trials are considered a matter of life and death for young people here in the South, for people with AIDS everywhere.
The virus is the same. If the pediatricians find a drug that cures the disease, that will cure the disease in adults as well.
For Rodriguez, there is hope. 2/3 of the newborns who test HIV positive at birth outgrow the deadly virus. At 12 to 15 months, he could be given a clean bill of health.
I said, I'm be all right. Say, I'm gonna look back on this here, and I ain't gonna think nothing else about it.
Jackie knows Rodriguez may win his battle with HIV, and she knows she will not. Her name is Charmaine. She loves fancy party dresses, she loves patent leather shoes, and she loves attention.
There you go. I think that'll buy it. Thank you. I think that'll get it.
A precocious, well-adjusted 2-year-old, Charmaine was born addicted to cocaine. She was born HIV positive.
Try to fix my baby doll.
At birth, she was like a vegetable. And she started taking this medicine and started getting her strength. And she's doing real well now.
She's doing well until it's time for a physical exam.
I'm going to get some sugar. Okay. All right, big girl. Well, let's keep an eye on that.
Charmaine is involved in clinical drug trials at St. Jude, experiments made possible by a $3.5 million grant from the National Institutes of Health.
Where's the baby doll's feet?
Right here.
Yeah, they sure are.
In children as well as adults, sometimes changes in mental functioning are the first detectable changes that predict the onset of AIDS or the progression of the HIV virus.
St. Jude, a member of the AIDS Clinical Trial Group, is one of 24 pediatric, 28 adult institutions conducting studies on AIDS. Funded by $60 million a year from the federal government, the work being conducted here will be shared with other researchers nationwide as scientists battle the unrelenting killer virus.
And I think probably the unique feature of St. Jude in this endeavor is that we are combining basic scientists and clinical investigators in the development of drugs.
So for now, the little girl in the frilly dress will continue to fight the virus she has lived with all of her young life and charm everyone she meets.
I hope that somebody comes up with a cure, and like I said, we'll never know unless we experiment.
Say thank you. Thank you, she said.
I was pregnant and they took a HIV test, and it came back positive. Me and my mom made them take another one, and it came back positive.
LaWanda, 16 years old, HIV positive. She contracted the deadly virus from a boyfriend. She is among the growing class of teens attending school during the day, living with, fighting the AIDS virus day and night.
Does that look pretty clear to you?
LaWanda is involved in drug trials at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital in Memphis, Tennessee. She's receiving doses of AZT and interferon, working with social worker Chris Sinnock.
What they say to me is, I learned all the facts about HIV in school. I know all the knowledge, but I didn't think it could happen to me. They're still thinking it's a gay man disease.
An estimated 3,900 children under the age of 13 have developed full-blown AIDS in this country. That is less than 2% of the total number of AIDS cases reported in the United States. But in the last 7 years, the incidence of young people testing HIV positive has skyrocketed, and doctors warn those numbers are climbing.
The incubation period may be 6 to 7 years. So these kids, if they acquire this from drug use in adolescence, will not come in with AIDS until they're maybe 25.
From the teenager who is graduating from the School of Hard Knocks, advice to other young people.
I asked her to use a condom, and then if she didn't want to use a condom, to go to the health department and they both be tested. Use a condom or no sex.
LaWanda is like so many other American teenagers. She loves music, parties, but unlike them, her dreams, her hopes for the future are brutally different.
I hope they find a cure so I can get on my life.
16 years old, instead of looking forward to the prom, she is trying to skip a dance with death. It's a date thousands of other teens will one day have to face.
I'm scared, really scared.
The search for a cure.
Donor A negative, patient A negative. It's 210 mils.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, a pioneer in the treatment of childhood cancer, now attacking AIDS.
And I think we're all looking for the magic bullet. In the meantime, that is the drug that will cure the disease, or eradicate the disease, or make the disease go away.
Unarming the opportunistic infections like pneumocystis carinii pneumonia, or PCP. It's a major killer of AIDS patients. St. Jude developed a plan of attack against PCP using drug combinations to help children with cancer. Those breakthroughs now prolong the lives of people with AIDS.
Some of the same prevention kinds of medicines could have an impact on children with AIDS. We became interested in the disorder itself.
The labs, the nerve centers of St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. It's here where medical detectives use trial and error and science to search for clues, for breakthroughs to prolong the lives of children with HIV.
I hope that it's a cure, somebody finds a cure for it.
I'd rather see him all right than seeing myself all right. I really would.
Patients, families clinging to the slim thread of hope that the destroyer will be destroyed in time. Researchers working hand in hand with children, taking small steps in their quest to find the magic bullet. The littlest patients battling Goliaths, cancer, AIDS. The children of St. Jude living with death, the AIDS virus. Like their brothers and sisters with cancer before them, they have agreed to become human guinea pigs.
You have to experiment. You know, we'll never know if anything would work if we didn't try something.
Taking experimental drugs, poked, prodded. In the past, the little, seemingly helpless bodies have produced huge medical miracles.
Measles vaccine, the mumps vaccine, diphtheria, tetanus, polio, all those were developed in children, but adults benefit from them.
And now research on pregnant women, experimental drug trials, examining the miracle of babies born HIV positive, then miraculously test negative 12 to 15 months later.
they are somehow spared infection from the mother. We really don't know what causes the infection in some and spares some of the others.
Successful lobbying efforts on Capitol Hill prompted Congress to issue a congressional mandate. The Congress has ordered that 40% of federal AIDS research funds be shifted into pediatric AIDS research. Now, some critics complain that the smallest segment of the HIV/AIDS population is getting more than its fair share of those scarce federal funds.
There are many, many new, fresh investigators from the pediatric infectious diseases immunology fields that have been brought in because these funds have been available. The problem is we need more funds for adults.
The echo of children's tears rings through the halls of St. Jude. This is a place where pain is more than a brief visitor. But like the combinations of chemicals that are mixed and tested to fight the HIV virus, hope lingers here, mingling with love. The children keep it alive. This is a place where miracles are born.
I like the hand here.